In September 1965, a top-secret Pakistani armored offensive crossed the border into India. Within 48 hours, the advance stalled, and hundreds of heavily armed vehicles simply disappeared into the dense green fields of Punjab. They left behind a surreal graveyard of perfectly intact machines, abandoned by their crews. The operation was codenamed Grand Slam. The objective was to execute a sweeping flank through the plains of Punjab and sever Jammu and Kashmir from the rest of India. This blueprint details the American M48 Patton tank, spearheading Pakistan's 1st Armored Division. Each weighed 49 tons with a devastating 90mm cannon. They also featured multi-million-dollar infrared night vision sensors, Cold War technology designed to detect enemies in complete darkness. Looking at these specifications, military analysts in Washington and London confidently predicted a swift total annihilation of the Indian forces on the Western Front. Because the Indian Army possessed only older, lighter tanks, global observers viewed the upcoming confrontation as a slaughter in waiting. Standing in the path of this offensive was the Indian 4th Mountain Division, commanded by Major General Gurbakhsh Singh. Singh's outnumbered forces relied on older, lighter armor. Compared to the massive Pattons, their American-made M4 Shermans and French AMX-13s looked like toys. Engaging a 49-ton armored division on open roads in a head-on collision would mean certain death for the defenders. Realizing standard military doctrine would fail his men, Singh designed a trap to neutralize the enemy's speed and technology, using the agricultural terrain surrounding the border village of Asal Uttar. When faced with an overwhelming technological disadvantage, a commander has to abandon conventional warfare and look to the natural environment for salvation. Singh began by ordering his troops to retreat. He left the border checkpoints and pathways completely wide open, baiting the confident Pakistani forces forward. Meanwhile, his soldiers quietly moved into the vast labyrinthine sugarcane fields that covered the region. The crops here grew 8 to 10 feet tall. This diagram illustrates how the towering stalks acted as an absolute physical barrier. The thick vegetation completely blocked all horizontal lines of sight and absorbed the infrared signals emitted by the tanks. By neutralizing the multi-million-dollar night vision technology, the dense green canopy allowed the Indian forces to maneuver completely unseen through the blind spots. The most advanced sensor technology of the Cold War era was rendered completely useless by the simple density of an agricultural canopy. Under the cover of darkness, Singh executed the core of his strategy. He issued a top-secret order to local farmers and irrigation departments to open the region's Grand Canals, releasing millions of gallons of water into the fields. The plains of Punjab are composed of clay-rich alluvial soil. As it soaked up the floodwaters, the solid earth transformed into a deep, treacherous swamp, completely hidden beneath the canopy of sugarcane leaves. Unaware of the compromised earth, the Pakistani armored division charged into the fields at high speed, sensing an easy victory. This cross-section compares the pressure exerted by different vehicles. The immense 49-ton weight of the Patton tanks broke straight through the topsoil, causing them to sink deeply into the suffocating mud matrix. As the heavy engines roared in panic, the tracks spun and dug the machines even deeper. They became physically locked into the earth at fixed, awkward angles, ensuring their massive turrets could not rotate to face a threat. Because the older Indian tanks weighed significantly less, they avoided sinking. They were able to move with absolute freedom along the narrow, unflooded ridges between the fields. Working in tandem with the light armor, Indian soldiers executed high-contrast ambushes from the shadows. Men like Quartermaster Abdul Hamid used light recoilless guns and single anti-tank weapons to systematically destroy the paralyzed giants. A calculated manipulation of local geography dismantled a vastly superior military force, without the defenders ever needing to match its firepower. By the next morning, the enemy crews realized they were trapped. Panicked, they abandoned hundreds of active, undamaged tanks and fled on foot. When international journalists arrived days later, they documented the world's most sophisticated armor half buried in the mud. The area earned a new name, Patton Nagri, the graveyard of tanks. The United States Military High Command was deeply shocked to see their multi-million-dollar engineering dismantled by an invisible strategy. There is a poetic irony in the location of this victory. The name of the village, Asal Uttar, literally translates to the real answer. This battle is often filed away as an anomaly because it shatters a comfortable modern myth, the belief that advanced technology and massive budgets will always guarantee a victory. Ultimately, the outcome proved that even the most advanced weapons can be defeated by tactical ingenuity and an intimate knowledge of the local soil.